Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Good, Dave.
That's good, mate. Big Cox Plate weekend of racing at Moonee Valley, Friday night and Saturday afternoon, just across the road from here, mate.
It is, mate.
You must be looking forward to the weekend, yeah?
Can't wait.
Your favourite weekend. So there's two Group 1s over the weekend, one Friday night and one Saturday afternoon. So firstly, on Friday night is the $1 Million Manikato Stakes at weight for age over 1,200 metres. And what do you like in the Manikato, mate? A good sprint race.
Great sprint race, Dave. All the speed seems to be out wide with Buffering, Rich Enough, Shrikandi, Tiger Tease. Shatak was a short post favourite. I'm going for a little bit of an upset here, Dave, but Shrikandi to finish over the top of him. I think $6.50 on offer. She's a genuine Group 1 sprinting mare. She'll appreciate the speed of the race, I think, even though she's going to have to work out wide. I think she'll get cover. She's won 9 starts from 13 overall, 2 from 3 first up, 5 from 6 at the distance. Stats are impeccable for mine. She's a fantastic horse. I just think she'll get across from the wide gate, sit off Buffering and finish over the top. So yeah, I just think Chautauqua might find a bit of trouble, so I think he's a bit of a risk at the odds for mine.
Yeah, I'm betting on the speed map here as well. Terra Vista and Chautauqua are drawn barriers 1 and 2, which means they'll settle back in the field and they'll be bottled away waiting for runs. And I thought Buffering will get across outside Rich Enough. I thought he'd be free balling it in front together, and I think a few of the others will just be behind them, creating a wall that the other two main chances need to get around, which will cause them a bit of problem. So I actually thought it gave Buffering the advantage over the main two. I just thought coming around the turn he'll skip away, and the other two might have I think Terra Vista will have a lot of problems from barrier 1 trying to get off that fence, and Chautauqua's going to have to go right around a lot of them. I think he'll be running down the buff, but I think the buff might hold on. So Chautauqua was definitely the measuring stick. I think he's by far the best sprinter in Australia, and but I'm just not sure around Moonee Valley whether he can give him the start that he will be giving him. And I just think Buff has had a lot of chances at Moonee Valley. He loves that sort of course and distance, and at $7 each way, I thought he was on the bit. You can get $2.05 to place for him compared to $2 a win on Chautauqua, and I just thought I can't see how Buffering doesn't run a place. So I want to take Buffering each way, and I did think personally I like the Quinella, and I thought you get $10 or $12 the Quinella, so I'd be taking that as well. Obviously the big race of the weekend, mate, is the Cox Plate on Saturday. $3 million, weight for age over 2,040 metres, and probably one of the most open Cox Plates I can recall, mate. What about you?
I think it's the deepest Cox Plate field I've seen in my time, Dave. Yeah, very deep race. I think what we've seen so far, the Caulfield Cup was probably one of the best runnings of a Caulfield Cup that I've seen. I think the Cox Plate's the same, and it looks the Melbourne Cup's going to be the same as well. Like, they're really deep fields this year. Anyway, getting back to the Cox Plate, I basically came down to looking at the field. I think there's 9 winning chances.
Yeah, there's a few.
So yeah, I think it's pretty tough. But anyway, it's going to be a genuinely run race with the cleaner going forward, but I don't think he'll get his own way with a few of the internationals in the field. I think they'll keep him honest. I went out to Moonee Valley on Tuesday. I watched Kermadec gallop.
Yep.
I thought he galloped enormous. I thought it was an amazing gallop. I think the Strathair obviously suits him. Caulfield didn't. He was beaten 1.35 lengths behind Criterion, which is probably the best weight for age horse in Australia at the moment. He won the Queen Elizabeth in Sydney last year and won last start. But that track, Glenn Boss said he felt the ground. I think he appreciated the Strathair here. I think he's going to get a nice run in behind him. Whether he's seasoned enough, well, time will tell, but I think at the price and the potential of the horse, he's on top for mine. Criterion's my second pick. I think he's a class weight for age horse in Australia. The internationals yet to be seen. Highland Reel, they're touting him as better than Adelaide, so I'd have to put him on for third. Winx was actually the horse that I went to watch gallop, and she galloped great, but she's probably the X factor.
I'm surprised, mate. I thought you were all over Winx.
Yeah, I was, but geez, it's so deep a race that I can't put her in the first three. I'll have her for fourth if I can.
There's no doubt it's an open race. I suppose this is how close it is. There's actually only 2.5 kilos between all runners on the ratings, which is equivalent to like 1 or 2 lengths. So it's really luck in running that will win this race, and the best ride. There's lots of form lines converging, as you mentioned, with the internationals. It's just a big weight for age event this has become, especially with the internationals joining in the field. I just thought the barrier draw had put a few of the horses out of the race for mine. The cleaner sets up a steady pace, we know, which he did last year. He actually comes in fresher this year, and he may be a bit stronger. He would offer about his 8th run last year, and he has to sort of qualify for the race. This year he's only up to his 4th run, maybe 5th run. So he's a lot fresher. And I think Noel Callow's actually riding him better. He's not letting him go as hard so early.
That's right.
But this is a tough race. I think they will have his measure. Obviously Criterion, I think, is one of the main chances. I watched the race last year, the Cox Plate. He actually missed the start last year and then actually got shuffled back to last. So he was always a long way back in the field. He actually made his run following the winner Adelaide, and he was only beaten a length of a bit off Adelaide, but that's where he was all the run, so he just got too far back in the run. He had 5 runs into that race last year. This year he's second up after a really strong win in the Caulfield Stakes. He's drawn barrier 7, which is just perfect. So if he jumps properly this year, I think he sits 3 or 4 pairs back, and he'll be in a much better position approaching the turn than last year. And Hayes and Davenink stable are firing on all cylinders, and he's probably the real main horse to beat. He's $6 fixed and has got to be in the top 3 chances. I think Kermit was ridden dead last start. I don't care what Bossy was saying about that run. I just think he flopped him out to last, made the run down the outside, but failed to finish strong enough to win. That was his first run at 2,000 metres. I think it was just a prep run for this race. I just think he'll be a lot better at the second attempt. I think this is the best chance of the Waller horses, and especially with the stronger pace up front, I think that'll help him, finishing hard. I don't think he'll flop out on Saturday. I think Bossy will actually sit midfield as well. He may just sit right behind Criterion, and I think he'll be sweeping out wide with a big finish. He's $6.50 fixed. I think you may even shop better with Kermadec on Saturday. The other horse I thought was some value was Complacent. I thought he was a real chance last week in the Caulfield Cup. He's drawn barrier 6. I think he'll just stalk behind the cleaner on the pace. He'll run out a very strong 2,000 metres, and he's really got the ability to sprint hard off a fast pace. I just thought it was interesting that Godolphin chose to run him in this race and not next week in the McKinnon, and they contributed to the McKinnon. I just think that's a good indication that this horse is actually flying, and this is the right race for him. He's $20 fixed. I just thought he was a really good each way chance and a very, very open Cox Plate. I might even take the field in the quaddie league, that one. Stable news, Lenny. What's been happening this week, mate?
Not a lot, Dave. We have Malaguera run at...
Just got pipped on the line.
Yeah,
just...
the line is in front, but so Malaguera in this week, so that was a little bit disappointing running second, but a bit quiet on the racing front this week.
Yeah, we are quiet. We've only got Arnina going around on Saturday at St Arnaud, not at Moonee Valley. But she demoralised the field by 10 lengths last start over 1,800. She goes to 2,000 metres this start. She'll be very hard to beat again. I went and saw her on Wednesday. She looks a picture of health. Her coat is just gleaming, so she'll be very hard to beat. That's at the last at St Arnaud, so if you need a get out on Saturday, we get on Arnina. Best on breeding, Lee. Who's your best on breeding this week, mate?
One of Kieran Maher's horses, Dave, at Moonee Valley, number 4, Brockhoff. Never went through the sale ring. He's by very good sire in Long Row, out of a very well related reduced choice mare in Original Choice. The second dam is the champion sprinter in Innovation Girl, which was Brian Mayfield Smith's horse back about 10-15 years ago. Won about 12 races, so he's a very well bred sprinter.
Yes, value bet. I've got 2 value bets, but they're both in the same race. I just thought they were both really good chances at the odds. It's in race 6 in the Moonee Valley, the Cup, the number 10 Bondiga and number 11 Bohemian Lily. They're both about $7.50. Bondiga ran second in the Derby last year to Preferment. He missed the Autumn, and then he's had 4 runs into this prep to get this stage. Last run was in the Herbert Power, where he finished strongly for 4th. That was his first run at 2400. He's much fitter now, and he needs to win, just like Bohemian Lily. So Bohemian Lily ran 3rd in that Herbert Power. He ran 4th, and Ralla won it, who was just dominant. I think they're both a lot fitter for the run, and they both need to win to get into the Melbourne Cup. So they'll be at their peak to win it. They're both, as I said, $7.50, so you can back them both and still make a profit on the race. On the bit specials, Len, who are you on the bit this week with, mate?
Race 2, number 2, the Valley Diamond Oasis Stake.
Yep.
She's a winner here. Worked very hard to win over the 9.55, 2 starts back over the very fast Fab Vivola. She drew wide then. She's since the last start winner. Drops 4.5 kilos in weight. Meets a very similar field and draws a lot better barrier here. So for mine, yeah, she's on the bit for mine.
Yeah, I'm on the bit with the same horse, Diamond Oasis. Yeah, I just thought it was an ideal race for him. As you said, he's had 2 starts at the track and distance for a win, and the other race he was 3rd to Group 1 winner Platelet, and Gregors ran 2nd that race. They only got beaten half a length. I think he'll settle outside the leader, General Jackson, and Hugh Bowman is on him, which is just another couple of lengths, gives him another couple of lengths advantage. He'll hold him up for that last sprint. I just think he'll zoom him home too quick. Looks a good start to the Saturday meeting for mine at $2.50. He's on the bid for mine. Off the bit. Now, Liam, we need to get these right, mate, because people are starting to get on the specials.
On the bit.
So who are you off the bit with this week, mate?
Going race 6, number 7, United States, Dave.
Yep.
It's $4.20 equal favourite. Ran 6 of 9 last start over the 2000. Is stepping up to the 2500. It's never raced past the 2000 or won over this distance. In my eyes, it's a pretty big risk, and the class that it raced against last start is no easier than Saturday. So 2500 for mine. There's a few question marks for it, and it's equal favourite. So that's a lay for mine, United States.
Yeah, I've been on it every start, and it is a bit of a gunner, but probably win on Saturday with us later. I'm off the bit with race 5, number 1, Serene Majesty. She was actually a last start winner at Group 3 level at Caulfield last start, but that day the fence was off. She came from last and zoomed down the outside to win. I just thought from barrier 10 she's got no other option but to go back from the start on Saturday, and I'm just not sure that Moonee Valley is the type of track that you can do that sort of thing. She came up favourite at $3.20 fixed, and I just thought it was a little bit short for mine, so I'll lay her on Saturday. So fantastic weekend of racing at Moonee Valley, and we'll be there to enjoy it all. So good luck. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys.